Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nidus Anarchy series. I'm your host Adam, the CIO and co-founder of Nidus, and today we're going to talk about the pitfalls of non-technical PMs and also why it's important to seek outsider opinions from third parties. So as a consultant, I've been around a lot of places. Like today I was talking with someone and they were asking me, hey, so what places have you worked in the past? As I started rattling off the places, I'm like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. I've worked at way too many places. But the benefit is every time I go somewhere new and someone says, hey, what do you see in other places? What are they doing? And I say, well, in institutions that are similar to yours, other financial institutions similar in size and have similar, risk issues, here's what they do. And here's what I've seen that works for them, and here's what I've seen them do that doesn't work for them. So you can learn from this. So that's one of the actual big benefits of consultants is to get that information of what they know of what everyone else is doing. Now we can't name names, like we can't say like, oh, this client is using this software and doing this because we have NDAs and stuff, but we can say, hey, look, this is how the industry works. Here's how we've seen it work best. And what you're doing right now, we've seen this too at another place that's similar in size and stature, and it's failed miserably, and here's why it failed, and here's what's going to happen. What's ironic is most people don't really want to listen to that. They actually just go, oh, cool, that's great. We're going to do what we want to do anyway. It's like, okay, congratulations, keep doing that, keep bashing your head on that brick wall. Eventually you'll get through. You won't. So use an outsider's opinion. It's massively beneficial. I mean, I'm constantly asking other people, other entrepreneurs, other founders of companies in tech and non-tech, everywhere. What's working for you? What have you seen to make extra money? What have you seen to increase sales? What have you seen to make education go faster? What have you seen to keep morale high with your people and your employees? Like, how do you keep it exciting and fun? Like, all kinds of things. You can talk to someone that's in the nail salon business about what they do to make their employees happy around the new year, right? And it's like, oh, maybe they got something cool that could leverage into your business. So it's hugely paramount that you find out what other people are doing. It's not shady or shifty, it's saving time and also learning from other people's mistakes. They've already spent a ton of time and money finding out the wrong way to do it. Don't repeat those steps. But yet, time and time again, clients still want to say, okay, cool, thanks for that information. We're still going to do it this way. And that kind of leads me to my next part here, right? So the first part was about how you really should seek outside advice and listen to it. And now the next part is non-technical PMs. So this is when I feel is kind of like, it's like the main crux of a project going sideways is when you have this non-technical PM. So a non-technical PM, just to make it very simple, is a project manager that is not technically savvy at all. They don't know how to develop. They don't even understand computers real well, right? Like they know how to do Excel, make a PowerPoint, send email. But if you ask them to name one layer of the OSI model, they'll stare at you like deer in headlights. Those are the ones I'm saying you kind of got to be afraid of. And here's why. And this is, again, just my personal experience. I know there's a lot of PMs out there that are going, you don't know what you're talking about. We are invaluable. Okay, you just keep forwarding the emails that everyone else is doing of the work and claiming the right of mission accomplished. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. But okay, non-technical PMs, to me, have these issues. The first is if you have a very strong, passionate developer or engineers under them working on a project, and that whether they could be the smartest people in the world, doesn't make a difference. But when they say, hey, look, here's how we're going to do it, and this is the way we're going to do it, then they tell that to the PM. And then the PM relays that up top, and then up top says, okay, that's good, bad, indifferent, the project's online, right? But what's happening is that the PM, the project manager, the person in charge of making sure the project is working properly, they have no idea if what the people under them are saying is actually true or not. Right? So you could have a developer or an engineer saying, hey, you know what? We have this big thing, and what we need to do is we need to employ this AWS service across all these servers, and it's going to do all this cool stuff and make life so much easier, and it's going to allow all these other things. We got to do that. That's the way we got to do it. Okay, now the PM has no idea what just came out of their mouth, but they're like, oh, well, he's smart, and he's always been doing the project, so I'm just going to blindly trust him on what he says. And you say, okay, cool, I guess go ahead and do it. Now that person's been spending weeks trying to figure out how to do something, only to basically come to the end of it and then find out it doesn't work the way he thought it would, or there actually is a better way, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't know it. And without that outside influence, kind of like that third party stuff we're talking about, you get stuck in a tunnel vision of, okay, this is the path we're taking because I don't know better. So we're just going to go down this path because that's what everyone told me. And then when a project fails or it's costing too much money or blowing past budgets and deadlines, then all the higher ups are like, hey, what the hell's going on? This project was supposed to be done months ago or whatever. And then again, the PM doesn't know. The PM is only going to relay what the people under him say. So this non-technical PM is just a relay of information. They don't actually offer anything other than forwarding messages between people in a way that they understand each other. So they're almost like a liaison of the tech people and then explaining it in layman's terms to the higher ups as to what's going on, and hopefully everything works out right. Not a good idea. The technical PM needs to have, the PM should be technical if they're in a technical role, meaning if they're in a position working with technical people all day long, they should understand what's actually happening. So much so that they should be able to log into the systems. They should understand what the back-end infrastructure is like. They should understand what's involved to do stuff. Not necessarily that they can do it themselves, but they need to have the understanding of the products and services that are being worked on and worked with. Because then they can call bullshit. That's huge, right? So when a developer or an engineer says, hey, you know what, we're not going to be able to do that, they can be like, okay, I know you think you can't, and I believe you, but hold on a second, because maybe they have a bit of information in their head about how they've heard someone else that's been able to do it, or there's some other thing, maybe try it a different way. At least enough knowledge to say, let's ask someone else that also knows this stuff. Ask a third party. So they're smart enough to reach out and say, hey, you know what? This guy's saying it's impossible. I'm just looking for a second opinion real fast. And that person says, actually, you know what? You couldn't that way? Yeah, it's not going to work. But if you did it this way and this way, then it will work and it'll save you a bunch of time. Oh, cool. Now that technical PM can go back to his group and say, hey, look, I've reached to another team in a different department and they gave the idea of we could do this or that. What do you think about that? And then all of a sudden they can have that conversation or link them up. Be like, hey, dev guy, meet other dev guy from another department, have a conversation on how to solve that problem. That's when the technical PM, I think, really comes into play, is they can call BS when people are blowing smoke up their ass, and also they can do more than just relaying information. They can actually help promote the project, to move along in an efficient way. So I'm not trying to bash non-technical PMs. I think you're just in the wrong role, right? So if you're a non-technical PM managing only technical people, like, learn the tech. I think that's the best thing I can tell you is don't just spend all day relaying messages to people. Take the time, take your own time. If you don't, and I know PMs are always super busy because they're meeting themselves out, right? So just 9 to 5, they love to talk about how many meetings they're in all day. To me, bragging about how many meetings you're in all day just tells me how inefficient you are, by the way. So that is not a good thing. Now, if you have time during the day, take it. If not, take it on your own time, on the weekend, whatever. Learn the system. Whatever your project is that you are managing, learn the software, learn the technology, learn the languages that are being developed on. I'm not saying you have to actually code in it, but understand what's involved. Understand what the different frameworks are. What do these words mean that these people are telling you? Like, have a really good understanding of this stuff. If you do, you'll be way more efficient at your job and you're going to be worth more money. So, hey, there's a bonus too. So non-technical PMs, the good news is you can become technical, but you're just going to have to put forward that extra step, because I don't know any company that's going to say, hey, PM, we're going to put you through training to teach you how to use this identity management system. Generally, that doesn't happen. But there's tons of free information out there. So use it, level up your skills, because you're going to become a miracle worker if you understand the actual tech that your team is working on. I promise you things are going to be awesome. Now, for those of you looking for outside advice, you have tons of ways. Obviously, there's forums that you can reach out there. You can just go on stuff that's already pre-recorded, like YouTube. If you're watching that on here, you can hit up people on LinkedIn. You can message people all day long just by searching for certain technologies, right? You have all kinds of ways. You can also reach out to me. I don't care. Hit me up, adam@nidus.com. Send me an email. I'll schedule a 15-minute meeting with you, no matter who you are, what your problem is. Free. I'm not trying to build up anything here. All I'm saying is, if you have something where you're like, hey, look, our project is going sideways, this person's recommending this, or this vendor says this is impossible, email me, ask me, say, hey, Adam, you know what, the vendor blah, blah, blah says this is impossible. I just want to see if you can give me a quick level set on that. I will happily reply back to you and say, hey, no problem. Actually, they're right. you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. To the best of my knowledge, I've never seen that happening. Or, not really, but if you actually incorporate this and this, or I've seen it at this client and this client, you can actually do this, this, and this, and they've made it work that way. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, awesome. Now you have information to go back and fight with, right? And if need be, we'll jump on a call. We'll jump on a Zoom. You can show me some stuff. I like whiteboarding, but either way, I want to help you guys out. And I really, really strongly encourage, just ask. Just get that third-party opinion, and then please listen. Like, I'm not saying do it, but really listen and understand what they're saying, because a lot of times these people, especially consultants, and especially if you're paying them a lot of money, trust what they're saying and maybe go with it a little bit, right? So that's it. That's the end of my rant. Check out third-party people. Hit us up if you have any questions. Seriously, I will reply back to every one of you. I've already replied back to a ton already, but I just want to make it more apparent. I want to help you guys out, seriously. So hit me up, adam@nidus.com. I'll see you guys around. Later.